missing occupant. Of course, you know by now that the missing person from the boat is a deputy sheriff with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. Like I said, the search is very active and ongoing. It involves multiple agencies, to include the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, Putnam County Sheriff's Office, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, Flagler County, Lake County, Customs and Border Protection, and United States Coast Guard are involved in this active search at this time. Since our last update this morning, there is not a lot of update to be had. We are operating multiple versions of sonar in the river at this time, including side scan and towed sonar. As those sonars pick up objects of interest in the river, then we are deploying divers to go down and take a look at those objects. But so far at this time, we have not located anything. So like I mentioned before, the Sheriff's Office is coordinating the search and rescue operation, while the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is conducting the investigation into the boating crash itself. So I'm going to offer the opportunity for the gentleman from Fish and Wildlife to speak, and then after that, if you have any questions regarding the search and rescue, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Thank you, Captain. As far as the investigation, Greg Workman. As far as the investigation goes, it's still too early. We're in the preliminary stages of fact-finding, and if we have anything reportable, we'll be sure to get it to you as soon as we can. But at this point in time, we're still out there, and we're assisting all these other agencies in this endeavor.
Can you tell us the woman's name? Do we have that identity yet?
We are not quite prepared for that at this time. We are working with her family closely to make sure that they are all notified. She has a large family that is spread throughout the state and beyond, and we will, as soon as we get that confirmation from the family, we're comfortable everybody's been notified, we will talk to you about that.
For rescuers that are out there, what are the conditions like, and what's the terrain like underwater that they're having to deal with as the divers go down?
They're working in water with near zero visibility. They're also dealing with water that at the depths they're dealing with is still quite chilly. The water ranges from anywhere from about 10 to 18 feet and beyond where we're working. The accident actually occurred right in the channel of the river. So they're dealing with water temperatures approximately 65 to 68 degrees and zero visibility. So it's tough times, not to mention that just the fact that they're looking for a brother law enforcement officer is adding to the issues that they're dealing with. One thing that we're very fortunate to have is we have multiple critical incident stress debriefing teams on site that are working with the various divers as they come out of the water, and working with the boat crews just to ensure that they're holding up okay and that they're keeping their minds in the job so that we can get the job done and bring this deputy home.
How's her boyfriend?
First, how's the current? The current is running toward the north at about 2 to 3 knots.
And how's that impacting the search area?
That's the average current for this area of the river. Our divers are well versed in dealing with that current.
How's her boyfriend doing?
Life jacket.
The boyfriend is doing fine. He is with us, with members of the Sheriff's Office and with members of the deputy's family. They were very close, and we are working continuously with both of those families to meet all of their needs at this time.
And she wasn't wearing a life jacket?
That will be a fact that will be part of the crash investigation, which I'll refer to the Fish and Wildlife Commission.
How far north is that search expanded?
We are prepared to expand out to 5 nautical miles at this time in each direction.
Captain, is it unusual for someone to be in the water in the wee hours of the morning? Can you speak to that?
Not necessarily in this area. This area of Welaka is known for very heavy boat traffic. It's also known as a fisherman's dream. So oftentimes fishermen do get started before sunup to get in place. Yes.
Is there any reason why that marker is not lit?
The marker is reflective. It doesn't have a lit beacon on top. Not every marker through the river does.
Did the boat that they were on have proper lighting?
Again, I'm going to refer all the investigative answers on that to Fish and Wildlife Commission. I have not done any investigation, nor has our agency done any investigation as to the boat seaworthiness or any of the circumstances surrounding the crash.
Did her boyfriend say what they were doing, why they were out there at that time?
I have not spoken to him. He has spoken with investigators with Fish and Wildlife.
Can you talk about what she was wearing or anything that might help people identify, maybe something that's connected to this, should it show up on the side of the river or something?
I don't know what she was wearing. I can tell you that we just encourage anyone that spots anything that they find to be suspicious to leave it in place and immediately contact the Sheriff's Office, and we'll have investigators come retrieve the item just in the event that it could be associated with our search.
Greg, do you have that answer about the boat? Was it properly?
At this time, we're putting everything together. Yeah, when we're ready to message that, we will. But we want to get all the information in place before we release anything.
Any idea about how fast they were going when they hit the channel?
No, sure don't.
Talk about just hitting those channels. I mean, that can make somebody fly out very easily. How dangerous that is.
Well, anytime you hit an object in the water while in the water, it presents itself in an unsafe manner. But as far as this, I would hate to even speculate at this point because we don't know.
Those
Greg, can you
divers are
talk
in
at
the
all
elements.
about
Is there
the
a lot of
hazards
gators in
that
there?
are in existence when it is the middle of the night with channel markers that while they are reflective, they are not lit?
Yes, as he said, they are reflective. They are not lit. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the
I
beginning.
said, can you talk about a little bit the perils that exist when you try to boat at night when there isn't a lot of lighting in the area and you do have these markers that are in the channel?
Dave, I think you're asking if type of equipment they'd have or this or
How
activity.
dangerous is it to boat at
Well,
night in that channel?
Anytime you're on the water, there's inherent risk that you would take, and you must have the proper equipment in your vessel. And we always try to stress to our boaters here in the state of Florida to make sure that you pre-plan your trip, make sure you have these safety devices in your boat. As far as this investigation, we don't know. We're still gathering all that information.
What size motor did they have on that boat?
I'm not sure of the exact horsepower. It was a smaller John boat type of vessel.
Is it a center console with
No,
outboard
tiller
or-
driven.
What?
Tiller driven.
Tiller driven, like a 17 foot?
14. Any other questions? I mean, again, this is ongoing, and we're still gathering all the facts, and we want to make sure that we get everything accurate before we do message anything else on the investigation. But again, if there's anything that comes up, we'll be sure to get in touch with you. Also, please, if you do see anything on the river, call the Putnam County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you very much. And for wrapping